Hello, everyone. We are back with our second episode of the Legacy Lounge. In case y'all missed the first one, we'll tell y'all how y'all can catch up. But tonight, we got another topic, and I have with me some very special friends and colleagues and some big hitters in the industry that they are in. We got Shamika Valencia, and we have Dee Boots. Hey, y'all say what's up.
Hello,
What's
hello.
what's Let me stop.
Oh my God.
Oh,
How y'all
I
doing
don't
this
even know what
evening,
a West
though?
Side is. Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's that time of year. Corporate taxes are due Monday, so I'm head down. I think I showered today. I do think I did change my clothes today. So other than that, I'm enjoying the weather, the warmness, the sunshine, and the time change has definitely taken my heart. So it took my life, it took my breath, it took my air, my sanity, everything.
We got to get all that back.
Yes, yes, I need it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Hmm.
definitely one of our topics today. We got to be able to maintain that balance while
Amen.
life is life and then these businesses are steady trying to run. We got to take care of us.
Right. And Trump be trumping.
Trump is trumping, right? He's
Life is
stomping and
life.
trumping. And
But y'all, this month is has been set aside for National Women's. Oh shoot!
for
My
National
mom
Women's what?
it's National Women's
Is
Month. That's all
is,
it
is
was. Yeah.
Women's History
Yeah.
Month or
Women's
somebody's month?
history.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah,
about the women. And as you
yeah.
see, we are women, all natural born women. Okay. So tonight we are going to
Hmm.
talk about, how we do. We're just going to have a conversation about it. We all come from different industries, different backgrounds, and
Yeah,
we just want to talk and share some strategies that you should be able to implement to help you elevate, from wherever you are to whatever the next level is for you, because we're all on different levels, right? So
Mhm.
tonight,
absolutely.
things that Black women in business aren't doing in 2025, and
Woo!
what is holding us back, y'all. So let's go. Shamika
Hmm.
shared
Absolutely.
some information you had posted a few weeks ago, I believe it was, about this very topic, and you made some great points. So I'm gonna let you start it off with one of the things you think we're not doing in business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it started, just so you guys get some background, it started from a post I saw about, I think, Black women, what we're not doing in relationships or something like that. And while that's absolutely important, I know too many business women. And so it was important for me to start that conversation of what's some things we need to stop doing.
Yeah.
Um, and not to really skip all over the place because there's no real order of things, but like Didi just mentioned, life is life and Trump is trumping. And it's like you got so much going on around you. We wear so many hats as people, especially women, where you're a mother, you're a sister, um, you somebody's auntie perhaps, and you're trying to run a business. If you're like me, you working a 9 to 5 as well as trying to run a business. You're trying to be a good friend. All the things that are happening, you we have to stop negating self-care.
Mm,
Hmm.
It is not selfish to implement self-care for yourself. And also don't let nobody tell you what self-care looks like for you because it looks
Period.
very different for everybody. Everybody don't want to go get a massage. Everybody doesn't want to go get a facial. That may not be your thing. Sometimes self-care is locking yourself in a room, pulling out a flip chart and focusing
Yeah.
on the little areas of life. Sometimes it's just getting the laundry folded. Baby, do what you got to do.
That's
right.
what.
I agree. Self care is very important, especially like even outside of business and work. Like Shamika said, we as women we tend to wear multiple hats,
Mhm.
and trying to balance it all is very important. Like I know I'm not the spa girl. I can't see myself laying around with cucumbers on my eyes in the mud bath. I've done it. It was fun, but I'm not that girl. My time,
Right.
let me just be in my room by myself with a drink. I'm good. And I have a therapist, what I'm saying? So mental health awareness is something to be, that we overlook as well. So definitely finding that balance and taking care of you, because I'm a firm believer, if you are not taken care of, you cannot help nobody else.
Amen.
Miss Didi, I know
Definitely.
you are in the thick of tax season right
Woo!
now.
Look, self
Imagine.
care, be aware. I'm just tell everybody sometimes self care is also taking care of business. So things Black women are not doing anymore in 2025, we are not procrastinating. Okay, we are
Mm,
done with the excuses and all the reasons why we can't do stuff. We are making our business a priority. So taking care of business, taking care of friends, taking care of family. We're stopping the excuses. We're executing. So that's to me what I see out and about right now. Just because there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, in politics, in business, you name it, financial. There's so many things going on in the world right now that we know we supported the agenda that kind of is a circle around our lives. So we supported things in politics that were directly effective to us, and we know that other communities did not do that. So for Black women, we're not gonna carry around the responsibility for the next year or 4 years of what we should have done. We did it. We executed. Everybody else walked away. So I feel like we also want to make sure that our voices are being heard, no matter what the reasons are. We're going to speak our truth and be darned with the rest of y'all. So if you're part of the 92% of Black women who supported the political agenda that definitely connects with your life, then that's what we're going to continue doing for, we're going to continue doing, but we're not going to keep making excuses for everyone else who didn't come out and support us or support the politics that affect your life. So no more excuses.
No more excuses. I like that because
Yeah,
it's easier to make excuses than to just keep, going. And
it
people
is.
that make excuses,
mhm.
to me, they just take the easy way out.
Yeah.
And that sucks. But
Absolutely.
we do
Absolutely.
it. We do it.
Yeah, you touched
Absolutely.
on that execution piece, and that is whew, business 101. The idea is
Mm-hmm.
nothing without execution
That's
Right.
it.
and not doing that little busy work. And I don't know the exact statistic, but if people don't know, you can look it up for yourself. But entrepreneurs in general, not speaking for women, men, Black women, or whatever, but entrepreneurs in general suffer from depression more than the average person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's easy to get in that slump and not execute. But you got to start leveraging those small wins so that you can build that momentum and pull yourself out of that. I mean, that alone touches on so many other topics that we're going to touch on. Networking is important to have that network. It's
Absolutely.
imperative to plan because you can't be successful if you're not planning. If you've heard this phrase before, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, I want to hear people's feedback. But if you've ever heard this phrase, that's it's something to the effect of if you fail to plan, you
You plan to
plan to
Plan.
fail.
fail.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm. Yep.
statement, like that is, it may sound cliche, it may sound like a cute little bumper sticker or a T-shirt, but baby, that's facts.
That is very much facts.
That is
That
fact.
is very much facts. And that's what a lot of folks did. They kind of went into the year thinking it was going to be somebody else's problem. They didn't have to contribute. They didn't have to show up. They didn't have to speak up. And this is why we are where we are. So for the folks out there to think, oh, your voice is not important, then this is what happens when you don't speak up. It's like being in an abusive relationship. You knew the man was not the right man for you, and you didn't do nothing about it. You just let him, park his ass, on the couch. He didn't have to prove himself. He didn't do nothing to right the wrongs that he did before, and you turned around and you supported him anyway. And so this abusive relationship is now we're back in it, and it's up to us what we're going to do about it. So it's our decision really of what's going to happen to us. And so that's what I mean by as well, is not what we're not going to do this year. We're not going to sit around here and let you keep talking about us like we're a third party. We are here. We are confident. We are educated now. Men, most women out educate men these days, as far as even PhDs, holding master degrees, executives now in companies. We're right up there. I know that people still talk about a glass ceiling, but that's from your perspective. I'm breaking all chains and all barriers. So even if there is one put on me right now, I don't see it. I just keep moving like it don't even exist. So
Right.
I'm not coming up with excuses this year. I'm executing. So
I
that's
like
what I
that.
want. Yeah, I want people who want to be with me on that journey.
Yeah.
Right. And Shamika,
Hmm.
you have mentioned networking. That's your circle matters. Like
Yeah,
people, I don't I quench when people say that they are self-made. Like, no, you ain't do nothing by yourself. You might have put in the
man.
work, but if you don't have anybody supporting you or helping you, there's no way that you're successful. And so,
That's it.
finding the right people in your circle that's going to be supportive, that you can learn from, and that can be resourceful people to you as well as you to them, because I believe it's
Yep.
two-way streets here. You can't just drain
Hmm.
me. You gotta feed me too. So
Right.
how do people that's like, well, let me back up. A lot of people that I talk to, they want to be around a group of people that they feel like they don't have any reach. Like for example, like I used to stay in the projects. So you stay in the projects, you're like, I don't. How do I get into that circle outside of the projects? You know what I'm saying? So, what are some suggestions that you can give for people to, find that circle that they're looking for, or that they might not even know that they need?
I know for me, as a person who has, especially post COVID, has gone into this like introverted shell, it's fighting through it. It's getting out of it and talking to people and not shying away. And that sounds easier said than done, but people are far less scary than what sometimes our brain will have us believe.
Believe.
Because
Yep.
sometimes that small little bit of conversation that starts from just, hey, how are you doing today, can turn into, hey, this is what I do. Tell me a little bit more about what you do. Oh, our industries connect. And every connection won't mean there's an opportunity, but it's just like if you're in sales, you keep going until you get to that yes. You keep
Yeah.
going, and like Sandra mentioned, it's a two-way street. You can't just look for somebody to do something for you all the time and you have no value to add back to them. And sometimes you may not know what value you have to add,
Mhm.
but you just have to ask the questions. If
Amen.
you see, okay, using the project scenario, these people live outside. Like I've seen YouTubers now. I probably now promise you, I will probably never do it. Where they go and they're just randomly walking down the street or knocking on people's on neighborhood doors saying, "Hey, I
Yep.
like your house. What do you do for a living?
Yep.
Right.
What advice can you give me? How do I get
Yep.
out there?" So you got to open your mouth, as the old saying goes, "Closed mouths don't get fed."
Nope.
Open your mouth.
Hmm.
Open
Amen.
your
I
mouth.
agree.
I agree too. And Didi, you've been in business, longer than we have. So,
Mhm.
Hmm.
how did you first start, putting yourself out there?
I think, for me, I don't have a lot of fear, and that's probably not a good thing, right? Some people are fearful of things of the unknown, and unfortunately, my father scared the bejesus out of me. So he let us know at a very young age, don't you ever let anybody make you feel less than.
Mhm.
So I was able to take that situation and that instruction and use it in my own personal life. And so when I feel like I can't do something, I really think about my parents and all the stuff that they instilled in me and all the things they've accomplished with very little education. My father didn't even have a high school education. My mother graduated from high school, but she had no formal matriculated education after that. She's kind of one of those people who let her career kind of determine where she was headed and use that education, real life situations, to
Mm-hmm.
help her elevate. And so my parents never let me believe that there wasn't anything I couldn't do. So with the well, let me correct that. With the exception of being an artist, that's the only thing I couldn't do. They didn't believe I could be an artist and make any money from art. So that part, when I won a scholarship and I could have went to someplace like Juilliard or one of these art schools and stuff like that, that was a quick no. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like my parents were all, the best in the world with everything. That art was not passing the smell test. Okay. My father was like, no, you go get your ass a job, get a pension, retire, and that's the way this is how you can have a deserving, life. And I really kind of am sad about that because if my father had really pushed me to be more trusting in my abilities, I would have been an entrepreneur earlier on in life. I would have never went into corporate America, but corporate America taught me a lot of stuff that I was able to use in my business. So I'm not all mad about how I came to become an entrepreneur because a lot of the information and tutelage I received was at a corporate level, and it was with some of the highest, education and processes. And when you're working for these Fortune 500 companies, they have a standard and training and follow up. So I used all those skills that I got in corporate America and then put it into my business life. And so that whole being able to sit and talk to people and interview people and communicate with complete strangers was just what I had to do. That's how you survived in corporate America. That's how you survived being an entrepreneur. And to me, it's also how you survive and being in friendships and being able to step out of what's comfortable. I learned that being uncomfortable is where I needed to live my life. And so the one thing I would share with anybody else is if you're comfortable right now, then you're not learning anything. I won't say you're not doing anything of value, but you probably don't think that you're doing anything of value. Other people may value what you do, but you inside yourself know that, oh my God, I'm comfortable. There's no risk in my life. I'm not waking up concerned about where I'm going to be at tonight. And I really truly believe that's when you're not pushing yourself. And once I learned that, every year I try to make myself uncomfortable. I try to go totally in a different direction than what I did before. I want to be working. I want to be scared. I want to be fearful. I want to be everything that is going to make me sit up and take notice of what it is I'm working on and how to accomplish that next level. And that's how I know that I'm doing better than I was a year before because I'm not sitting comfortable with like, oh, I don't have to, I worked everything out. I don't have nothing else to do. So, get like me, be afraid. I'm not saying, meet serial killers or nothing like that. I'm just saying, connect yourself with a group of people who are aligned with your same moral fabric, that have some of the same perspective as you. But if you're around the same folks and you're doing the same thing year after year, then that's probably one of the reasons why you're not willing to go outside of that circle because you're comfortable. So make yourself uncomfortable, and even being here, I mean, that is not, I'm not the best person when it comes to being on camera. I, run my mouth too much, but I'm going to learn, I'm going to figure it out.
You are
I'm
fine.
uncomfortable.
That's why I love it because this is it's a safe place. We can be ourselves. There's no rules. We can just talk like we would if we was just sitting around the table or either chopping it up on the
There you
phone.
go. There
So
you go.
that's what
There you
it's
go.
all about. So everybody can be comfortable. Did you want to add on to anything she said before?
Well, I think what she mentioned about, knowing whether or not you're doing better than you were the year before kind of segues
Mhm.
to back to that strategic planning. And when you're doing that planning, what KPIs or key performance indicators are you measuring yourself to? Number
Mm,
Yeah.
one, don't compare yourself to anybody else because everybody starts at a different place on the ladder,
right.
and
Absolutely.
everybody's success or definition of success isn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm
Absolutely.
not driven by material things, maybe because I've had a lot of material things over my lifetime. And
Mm-hmm.
just in case anybody's curious, I'll be 44 in 10 days. But in that time frame, I've been blessed to live on both sides of the spectrum, living in a trailer, living in, nice two-story homes, etc. So I've seen a lot of different things. I've had the pleasure of being able to buy things, but I've had, some different tutelage, if you will, from my family members and just from watching other people make mistakes. Like, you probably don't need to buy that $20,000 item, and you can't afford it. Don't buy the
Hmm.
$500 purse and you can't put $1,000 plus in it. We've heard that kind of phrase before. But what kind of KPIs are you setting up for yourself, for your business, to measure your success from one year to the next?
Mm,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
And I
exactly.
think having software and tools and measurement items are valid. This is kind of going into what business women are not doing in 2025. I'm going to be honest, and I hate to bruise somebody's egos out there. The first statement I made was on the positive side. This one's going to be a little this is going to be a little tender. Somebody might get their feelings hurt, and I know y'all going to talk about me afterwards, but I need to explain something to y'all. Okay. Things we're not doing in 2025 right now, we have business owners who have spent more time on their logo, their colors, and their photos than they have on structuring their business and operations. And I'm sorry to say to some of y'all folks out there, this is not a popular opinion. I'm not even judging because I remember the time when I was there, right?
Mhm.
But we can't expect to be exceptional when we're doing less than in our businesses, right? So I see over and over again everybody talking about how much success they've had financially, and like Miss Valencia was saying, all the different things that we've earned materialistically, so we can show you our success. But then if you were to say, just send me your books right now, right? And if I said, okay, you want to apply for a minority business enterprise designation from the Small Business Administration. They're going to ask for a couple of pieces of information. They're going to make sure your business is up to date. The second thing they're also going to ask is, let me see your books. Okay. And then people are going to freeze and they're going to be like, what does that mean? They want to see your financials. Okay. Because why are we in business? We're in business to earn money.
That's
So
right.
why would your financials be the last thing we straighten up, right? It needs to be the first thing. So when I start speaking to people who want to create businesses right now and they have the idea planned out and they figured out how um, they're going to buy the supplies. They don't found the supplier. They have found who's going to work in the business. They have researched who their clients are going to be. They got their colors. They don't purchase the logo. They got the LLC. They don't took a YouTube class on how to become an S corp. And I know when it's due. And then I sit there and go, okay, so how much money do you have to fund your business originally for the first 6 months? What do you mean? Well, I'm just asking, how are you going to pay yourself? How are you going to pay your staff? How are you going to pay for payroll? How are you going to pay for the website for 6 months? How are you going to pay for your email services, your phone services that you need, the answering system, the platform to keep your clients, to take your orders and all this other stuff. And then it's just like crumble. You just see their whole business crumble. And for a lot of us, we don't realize that that is the business, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Um, if you were to watch seasons 1 through 10 of Shark Tank, okay, and look at the questions that are being asked consistently, or we were to do like a Shark Tank kind of presentation and say, I want to sell you $200,000 of equity in I want to give you 10% of equity in my business for $200,000. And I'm going to talk to you about why that is and what you're going to get in return. And people would be like, $200,000 for 10%. That doesn't sound like a lot.
Mm,
So what do I get for 10%? Why is it 200,000? People don't even realize what the evaluation is of my business. They
Mhm.
don't even understand what it is what I'm stating to them. If I say to them, you know, what is your cost of goods sold? What is your average revenue per user? What is your cost per user? There's so many different KPIs, like Ms. Valencia was talking about earlier, that we don't even realize that we don't know our numbers for our own business. I should be able to have a business meeting with any Black woman or any woman in our community, and them to be able to tell me what were their numbers for last year, what was their, did they make a profit or a loss, how much did they retain in earnings,
Mhm.
did they pay themselves or not, and if you didn't pay yourselves, why not? Where did the money go that you reinvested? You know, are you changing your business structure? If you are, why? You know, folks are worried about, oh, I want to rebrand my business. I want to go with a new logo. I want to go with new colors. That ain't got ips to do with your business. Okay, really. Okay, that's not what you should be focusing on. And so I really hope that while we haven't been doing that in our business in the past, I hope that more of us in this community will get that serious and get on that level about our businesses.
Mm.
I
That's
absolutely hear a course or an online workshop coming up
yes,
where we can help those who are thinking about starting, so we can
Girl,
help you start the right way, and those who started incorrectly, which
yes.
surprisingly my research over the last year, self included, started incorrectly. I knew the things and didn't do the things. So don't be that person, and don't be the
Mm-hmm.
person who doesn't know and who just goes and doesn't ask those questions. You
Right.
have to ask those questions. Ask somebody who's in business. And if like we are blessed with discernment, by all means, if you're getting somebody telling you, oh yeah, girl, just write on the back of a napkin, you already know that ain't the person you want to be talking to.
That's
mhm,
right.
And that
That's
doesn't mean
right.
you have to go spend a ton of money on systems and tools. There are options out there, but you have to do the research. Real
right,
businesses that we work for, I don't care if you work in fast food or
Right.
myself, I'm working for a financial institution. These companies did not get to where they are by not sitting down, having strategic planning.
right,
Strategic planning is not for big business. And I remember
Right.
when I first started, I used to tell people, stop saying small business is a SBA type of qualification regarding how many employees you have. Small
Thank
business
you.
don't mean you have a small business.
that's right. I know
And
that's right.
that kind of transitions to the whole point of the legacy lounge. What legacy are
Right.
you trying to leave? Of course you want to make money.
Right.
Anybody out here pretending like they in business
For
not to
any other,
make money is tripping. I absolutely am not driven by materialistic things.
right,
I absolutely want to make an impact, but how do we make impact?
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
Money is the fastest way to make impact. I want to be able to insert cash into another woman's business who's trying to start out, who's like, look, I know I need XYZ system. I don't have the capital right now to do it. I want
There
to be
you
able
go.
to do those types of things for women. So that requires me put my big girl panties on and sit down with Dee Dee and let her fuss at me for a few minutes, get my stuff together, and keep moving. So, I mean, it's not on
Mm.
our kind of agenda, but another thing we're not doing in 2025, we're not being sensitive when somebody is trying to help us.
thank
Amen.
that's that's
That's I'm
look,
writing that one down. We not being sensitive,
we're not
girl.
being,
I'm like,
I am
mm,
like everybody that knows me, business side, friend side, whatever. I'm a straight shooter, and I do it all out of love. And nobody's ever told me that I've offended them, like to the point where they're offended and they don't want to talk to me no more because I hurt their feelings. But everybody needs to have a friend or a colleague or mentor, somebody that's going to keep it straight with them. Like you said,
Mhm.
they believe that everything that you can do except for art, right?
right, right,
Let's say you did go to art school, you might not be doing what you're doing today. And even though you said you might have started business earlier, your business may not, it may have took longer to get going because you didn't
yep.
have that corporate experience. So everything is for a
Thank
reason.
you.
You know, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, but I got more of my training when I managed McDonald's. and
Ooh.
everybody, McDonald's is a large. I mean, y'all know what McDonald's is, but we saw
Yeah, I mean it's a billion dollar
$1 billion
company, you know.
everywhere. And
Right.
whenever I put down that I was a manager on my applications and my resume, I didn't know it was their training program was so well respected. They're like, "Oh, you was a manager? Oh, you went through this?" I'm like, "Yeah." I remember
Yeah.
going through that daggone training. I was like, "We got to do all of this,"
Yeah.
but it taught me a whole lot about running and operating a business. And you
Mm.
can go to any McDonald's in the world. I can step in any McDonald's and I can fall right in line because the procedures are consistent. They are the
Yeah.
same and wherever you're going to go,
There
right?
you go. There
That's
you
how
go.
a good system is built. And businesses are ran off systems. If you do not have a system in place, you're running your business to the ground. You are running it to
Hmm.
the ground.
Yeah.
And you are.
A
And
lot
you
of
are.
people
And
think
I
about,
love that you mentioned their training program, because
oh yeah.
so many of us don't really understand that we have to train ourselves in our own business. You know, if you figured out the T and you've come up with a way to become successful, did you write that down? Did you
Right,
share that someplace so that you can start working on your policies and procedures for your company, right?
right,
It's like I was saying before, everybody wants to be a CEO, but nobody wants to do the work that requires us to be an executive, right? No one wants to say, oh, yeah, I have a binder full of processes and stuff like that. And, you know, there's rules to how you do things.
right.
And I commend us for, you know, having these conversations, because I'm going to be honest with you, most of the podcasts that we listen to out here, let's keep it real, they're talking about, you know, what's going on with the housewives and so I got their butt done, and you know, let's look over here and see what kind of outfit, let's go on this kind of trip. I'm not knocking having that fun side of your life, but we can't all be fun in games.
Mhm.
We're not doing just fun and games in 2025.
Right,
We are going to pick up the gavel and we are going to transition some of those fun and games into bosses and business, right? We're not going to just be, you know, the nicest dressed and the most, you know, traveled. We're also going to handle our stuff at home. So I
Mhm.
want us to be both sides of the coin, you know, so people have a different level of interest and respect for us and the
right.
business.
Mhm. And if
Another
you're
thing,
traveling, travel to a networking event.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Like, get a tax. I'm gonna let the tax person tell you, but get a tax write off.
Go to a
There
business
you
meeting,
go.
like a whole trip off. You know, somebody's having something somewhere, even if it's virtual. You can be in
Yep.
freaking China and you could attend a virtual meeting that they had over here in the US. Write that
Yep.
trip off. Shit.
There you go. There you go. You'd be surprised the tax write-offs that you have when it comes to educating yourself.
Right,
But again, it's like most things, it's got to be documented. And so that's what
Right.
we're also not going to do anymore in 2025. We're going to stop forgetting to document our business. Okay. We're going to stop saying, oh, I don't need to hold on to that. I don't need to keep a record of that. Yes, boo, it's a business. Record keeping is part of business. Make it as seamless as you brushing your teeth and you do it out of habit. Documenting what you do in your business needs to be that next habit. If you have habits that you do at home, this is a habit I need for everybody to have in business. Write it down. And I'm going to tell you how I do it. People ask me all the time, how do I do it? I do it like this. I don't even know if y'all can see it because the thing's probably blacking out, but
there
this
we
is
go.
how I do it. Okay. You know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I am a fan of Hobonichi. So if you're wondering what this mess is that I have, this is a Hobonichi planner. I'm obsessed with a lot of things Japanese, and they have some of the best pens and planner systems out there. So this is a Hobonichi Techno cousin planner for 2025, and it helps me schedule my days, my weeks, and my months. And as you can see, it's not super thick, and this is for the whole year. So this
Ooh.
is not one of those, it's going to take up all your life story places. It's literally, you know, the pages are like Bible,
Paper
onion
thin.
paper thin. Yeah. But they don't soak through.
Right.
So you can use, I have gel pens. I use all kind of gel pens. I'm a heavy writer, and I like the fact that I can write and highlight and everything like that. And I'm still not, you know, writing through the paper. So anybody who's a paper pen girly like I am,
Mhm.
yeah,
I need the
And
link to
there's
that. Whatever.
some good pens. Like I got these for, you can't see them, but they're for like writing in your Bible, and they also
hmm
keep you from like bleeding through the paper. So I think those would be perfect. We might need to look at raffling one of
yes,
those planners off. I definitely need a link myself to grab me one.
yes,
Yes, that
because
would be nice. I love
yes,
doing
so,
giveaways. You mentioned something earlier too, Donnette, about writing stuff down and sharing the information.
hmm
We need to stop being gatekeepers.
yes, no
We're
more
so
gatekeeping in
afraid
2025.
We're so
Yes,
afraid to share what we know because we think somebody's going to take it and run with it. Like, if you take it and implement it, you ain't got to worry about nobody taking it and run with it. But we take the
that part.
information and we sit on it. We don't implement it. We don't share it. We don't ask a mentor or a coach, how can I actually use this in my business? So, we got to stop sitting on information. It's not like they say,
hmm
love isn't love until it's given away. Whatever you learn in training, information it doesn't mean nothing until you implement it. And that's
Mhm.
Amen.
that we don't do. We are not implementing. So, like you said, get back to we are executing in 2025. Okay, be seen, be heard, be out there in the streets, network with people,
Yes.
and put your business out there. Some people don't even like to post about their own business because they feel like they shouldn't post about their own business. Like, if you don't support you, honey, ain't nobody else gonna support you. Because I'm
This
gonna
is
talk
true.
about my business every chance I get. Every
That
chance.
part.
And I'm gonna talk
That
about your
part.
business too and your business because we all out here, trying to put each other on the forefront so that we can
hmm
grow and elevate together. Nobody wants to be at the top alone. It don't
There
have to
you
be
go.
like at the top. That
Yeah.
I understand that phrase because we will lose people, but we only gonna lose people that's just not they ain't for us.
Hmm.
Everybody's not supposed to go to the next level with you. When you get to the top, you're gonna
Listen,
have the right people with you. So a loss ain't a loss when it come down to elevating. Whoever got to go just
hmm
got to go.
that's a
That's
hundred
it.
percent correct. And for my Bible people out there, let me first of all say I am nobody's Bible scholar. But one thing I can tell you, I know it says it in there, don't know exactly how it say it. God did not give us the spirit of fear, number one. So anytime if you're feeling that introverted type of thing, you don't want to talk about your business, remind yourself, I was not given the spirit of fear.
That's
Go
right.
ahead and talk about your business. Share that information with somebody else. It could help
That
somebody
part.
else. And what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
Okay? If God gave you that idea, he's going to make sure you get the people, places and things to help you execute. You got to be in position, of course. Faith without works is dead. You can't just
Okay.
have the idea and now, oh, I'm gonna sit here and just wait for the money to
That
roll
part.
in. That movie, if you build it, they will come.
They will come. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna need you to do something to show them why they need to come.
Right.
And sometimes it may take you a while, but saying all that to say, stop complaining about the support you're not getting. When
Mm,
one, you're probably not even asking for the support, and you're thinking that the people who should support you aren't supporting you. Everybody is not your target audience. Goes
There
right
you
back
go.
to planning. Who is your target audience? You cannot sell to everybody, even if everybody needs your stuff. I have an
that's
online boutique. I sell clothes. Everybody needs clothes. Everybody don't need the type of clothes I'm selling though.
hmm
So I can't be upset when, one of my family members in a whole different age bracket to the demographic I'm targeting can't purchase those items. Why would I expect them to? That's not
Right.
their style, that's not
That's
their
not
age
it.
range. It doesn't make sense. So stop complaining about the support you're not getting. And again, network with people who can help you expand, who may share a similar audience. And stop worrying about whether or not somebody's gonna get what's entitled to you, because that's just not the way life is designed. It's
right.
more than enough for everybody. I don't wear the same brand every single day.
Right. Right.
So why would that be the case for your business?
Amen.
That's good. That's good.
That's it. That's what's
So
up.
networking and getting with the right circle. I think if y'all are looking for a circle to be a part of, you want to be a part of people that are doing stuff that you want to do. things that you know you should be doing, but you just don't have those people to hold you accountable. This circle here, if you're in the state of North Carolina, anybody could watch this, but we do have a group on
Yep.
Facebook, and it is based on in North Carolina. So if you're in North Carolina and you're watching and you just need that group of people, we have a community for you. And
Mm-hmm.
when I say you can reach out to me and ask me anything, if I can't help you, I know plenty of people that can. And I'm very resourceful.
Exactly.
I've been a star, what you call, like a beginner entrepreneur, where I didn't have money to start, so I had to be resourceful. My friend said, "Don't say you
Right.
cheap, say you're resourceful." There's a lot of free resources out here for you if you're just not afraid to take the time to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going to be handed to you on a platter, because you have to realize the information that people are sharing. We have years of experience doing what we do. We've paid for coaching. We've invested in ourselves to get this information, so we're not just yapping, because we ain't done it or
Right.
experienced it.
Right.
And we're sharing this with you for free. And I don't say that to brag. I say that because I don't think people realize I appreciate these women being up here with me, because they could be doing anything else. And I'm learning from them. And it's free. It's costing me some time, but we all have time because we
We
waste time
all have.
doing
Yeah.
stuff that has nothing to do
Right.
with what your goals are. And this year, I've been very intentional on only doing those things that are in line with what my goal is. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard, getting better and better at it, but we have to be intentional with our time. So again, y'all can join the group and connect with us. And I believe that this is a great group of women to be a part of. It won't only be women, but it's
Absolutely.
women up here right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. No, go
We
ahead, Dee.
can't help that we can't help that, the guys are real quiet out there and they haven't decided to come on board. That is one thing that I find so interesting, is that I see y'all men out there, but what is it with y'all that, y'all stay quiet and in the background? We need y'all support. We need to hear what we are not hearing, right? There's something about a different perspective and having it come from the male point of view that is always going to help your sisters, right? And it's your viewpoint. We are emotional creatures, right? And men happen to be a little bit, they focus more sometimes on logic. And so having something that is logical with, an emotional intelligence is like the coup de grace. That is what you want. So where are our, business brothers that are located in this state who want to connect and commune and help us, improve our business community, not only just our knowledge, our acumen, our execution. Like we said, we're not doing excuses anymore. We're not going to sit around and talk about this till the cows come home. Our goal ultimately at the end of the day is to put some of these thoughts into fruition. We want to see um, our thoughts become action.
Mm.
And that is how we're going to change our community. So when people talk about, oh, I was raised this way and I didn't have much and so on and so forth, you know why they can talk about it in their past? Because they did things to change their future. And they didn't sit around and just let it be something that was just in their book or in their planner or something they talked about it with a bunch of people. They did something about it as well. And so we are looking to connect with people who are part of the execution. They want to be part of the solution. We're not going to do excuses. We're not going to do, it's your problem. It's not, that's not my issue. It's not my thing. It is all our concern. If you heard it and you agree with it and you recognize it, then yes, you have to do something about it. Because imagine if we look back in our past, especially when you look at the civil rights movements and all the different things that happened to plant our community into this country. Think about all the things that had to occur in order for us to be here. But then think about all the things that had to occur for us to win some of our freedoms, right? No, we're not every place we want to be, but look at where we've gone in the last 100 years. And to know that there's so many people out here that don't even realize that, we just got our ability to vote in the 1960s. Like
Mm,
when my father was 18, he couldn't vote. My father couldn't vote till he was 27 years old. Okay, my mother couldn't vote till she was 19 years old. You don't realize that that is generational. That's not that far in the past.
right.
So right now there are things that are happening inside of our own country that is starting to limit how we're able to be able to travel. In the next 60 days, you guys are going to hear more about it on TV. You're going to hear more about it in the news. You may even hear more about it when you go to the DMV. But if you want to hop on a plane in the next 60 days, and if you don't have a real ID, you're not going to be able to get on a plane and go anyplace inside the United States, boo. I'm not talking about going to France or Dubai, and all
Mhm.
the Turks and Caicoses and all that other stuff. I'm talking about me going from North Carolina to Connecticut on a plane. If I do not have a real ID, if I had not brought two things showing that I live at this address and my social security card and okay, my birth certificate with an actual seal on it to the Department of Motor Vehicles and get and pay for an identification that says a real ID that has a little star and a circle, I will not be able to travel on a plane in this country. Now, figure that one out. Why do you think that's in effect? But you know what? What we're not doing, we're not talking about it as Black women, and it's probably us who's going to be affected. Because, no offense, how many of folks knew that they needed to have a real ID after May 7th to travel in the United States?
I
Okay.
Mhm.
found out a few
And
years ago, actually.
right, right. And some of us have already gone and got it, or we have a passport, so it doesn't affect us. But there's so many of us who haven't even traveled out the U.S. yet that don't have a
Mhm.
passport, right? But if we try to go to Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, try to go to Hawaii, try to go to, there's a lot of Caribbean countries that are U.S., right? There's British side, there's Dutch side, but there's also U.S. side.
Right.
The Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, stuff like that. We don't even realize that getting on a plane to Puerto Rico in June is going to be problematic if we don't have a real ID. And
Mhm.
so there's things that we have to stop doing in our capacity as women, and we have to stop gatekeeping. So to kind of continue where Sonia was talking about, we're going to stop hiding information or not sharing information. That's one thing that I'm going to keep talking about it till the cows come home. I'm going to keep posting about it because I know it's going to be us that's going to have the problem. We're going to show up at RDU or we're going to show up at LaGuardia, right? We're going to show up at Charlotte. CLT is the airport code, or we're going to go to HOU. And I know these airport codes because unfortunately I used to work for the airline when I wanted to fly for free. That's a whole nother book. Okay. But, yes, you fly for free when you work for the airline. And trust me, that was the only purpose why I worked there, so I could travel. But we don't even realize that once we hop on those planes, people making plans for all summer, but they ain't even got their real ID yet. And I'm sitting up here going, it's going to be us because we're going to be at the line at TSA and they're going to tell us no. And all the people who don't look like us are going to be, oh, yeah, you didn't see that?
Mhm. But at the
Right.
end of
You
the
know,
day, it's really going to affect us because when you look at the statistics, women and then Black women, we spend the most money. We
Mm,
travel a lot. Like,
and we do.
we got to get it together, period. And if you don't know, them lines for passports, long. It takes
Long.
about 15 minutes per person to get your passport. And that seems like, oh, that's nothing. But when you got 30 plus people in front of you, you're talking a long wait time. And
right.
Long.
then 30 people could be one family with three people. Now you just multiplying this process.
People.
God
Mm-hmm.
forbid one of those people in front of you don't have all their stuff together. Now the 15-minute appointment turns to a 30-minute appointment. You got to go ahead and plan accordingly. Even if you don't know or plan on going out of the country, that's a good investment because
Mm-hmm.
something could happen and you may need to try to get up out of here.
That's
Right.
it.
I know that's
Look,
right.
I hear all these people talking about travel. Let's go here. Let's go there. I'm like, y'all can't go to Vegas without a real ID. Okay, you're not going to be able to hop on a plane to Vegas. You're not going to be able to go to whatever's popping off at Essence in New Orleans in the 4th of July if you don't have a real ID. If you're trying to get to Myrtle Beach for Bike Week, unless you're riding a bike, okay, you're not going to be able to travel there. Okay, I'm like, we're the ones who are trying to get up and go places. We're trying to get on these trail rides and pop our little fans, rock,
Mm,
rock, rock, and we ain't going to be able to hit the trail ride if we get on a plane. Okay. So I'm just trying to, be proactive. It's still going to happen. People are still going to not know about it. They're still going to forget. They're not going to realize that they're going to have to bring all these, official documents to get the real ID. We know because it was something that the red people created the last time Humpty Dumpty was in office. So this real ID is a carryover from previous administration, and he's back. So clearly, it's not going to get overridden, as we can see from the BOI and all these other things that they're trying to make sure that never happen again in life. But these are things that are meant to make it harder for certain people. They're expecting us not to find the paperwork. They're expecting us not to have documentation shows we are in this country legally. They're
Mm,
expecting us not to take the time. They're expecting us not to have the money. And what we're not understanding is that this is going to affect us down the road, because they're going to use it for voting. It's going to be the next step, because now we have a requirement in most states to show identification for voting. What if they then turn around and say and create a executive order that now says that in order to vote, you have to have a real ID?
mhm.
Boo, come on now, stop playing with these people. So, sisters out here, what we're not going to do anymore, we're not going to just sit here idly by and let it be somebody else's problem. It's
right.
our problem.
That's
Yes,
great.
Yep.
Definitely.
Grab a friend and get yourself wherever
yes.
you need to go to get what you need to do. Get somebody to hold you accountable,
Yep,
walk you through the steps, somebody who's already done it or who started the process. Each
absolutely.
one, teach one.
Because
That's
I
Real
great.
had,
friends,
I
real
remember when my sister wanted her uh passport. I went with her. We had to go all the way down to some crazy city. We didn't know she had just moved here, whole 9 yards. We had to go to some community college. It was back and forth here and there, and it wasn't even as easy as it is right now.
Right.
I remember when I went with my mom to get TSA pre-check, all those steps that you have to go through. And so some of us are used to having to, do the extra stuff, right? So extra to me is you're making it a challenge now, right? You want
Mhm.
to tell me I can't do something? Because I got to go drive an hour someplace and put this, I got to fill out this piece of paper. Oh, try me. I'm going to get one too. Yes, you ain't going to stop me. All you did was just give me a challenge. So, like I said,
friends.
give me a reason to fuss. I got
Mhm.
you.
She with all the shit. Okay.
That's it. Give me the reason. Tell me no. That's all I want you to do. Tell me I can't do something. I'm gonna do it 10 times harder.
Proving
Yeah,
people wrong. That's what we doing. We're
That's
gonna be proving
it.
people wrong.
yeah, and
I know there's
let's
something
hurry
wrong with
up
me.
and prove people wrong in that whole concept that Black women don't support other Black women. Let's stop. Let's stop that whole narrative. If
Right.
you are in a circle of people who are not supportive of you, change your circle, boo.
Change your circle, boo.
You in the wrong circle. Cause I know full well I'm not at the level I want to be to invest in other women's business, but I invest how I can right now. Whether that's my time, whether that's the knowledge that I have, and a lot of times out of my own pocket.
Right.
I invest into other women's business. So invest how you can. And it that kind of just ties back to the not gatekeeping, not complaining about support, and give and the networking is a two-way street. Give people something to kind of help you with. I see so many people who have dope businesses, and I can support you by purchasing a
Mm-hmm.
candle, and I can, or or something like that. I can share it. Create an affiliate program. You
Right.
do
That
good
part.
business, you in a service-based business, create a referral program. Incentivize people to do business with you in addition to the value your business is already providing them.
Yep.
You can't say people won't support you and you don't give them a, a win-win situation to help them support you.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
That's
Like you
it.
said, closed mouths don't get fed. I tell people all the time, look, I'm trying to help 40 families this month. Will you be one of them? That's my goal. It's a lot of people, they just don't know how to support you. They think
Mm-hmm.
supporting me don't mean you got to get a policy with me. Hell, share
Hmm.
a post. Tell your friends about me. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't cost you nothing. But people always think support equals money. No, boo. There's so much more valuable support than money. Okay, so much more because
Yeah.
you have things that are not. You can't put a price on knowledge. You can't put a price on valued friendships and connections that you're making. Those are things that are priceless. So let's think out. Let's think past money and just think how you can be resourceful and how you show support to other women. When you show yourself to be supportive, other people will support you too. You can't
Right.
ask
Hmm.
somebody to
Right.
share a post and you ain't never liked them one of mine. Like, come on now. I invite you to a group and then you want to ask me, can I share? No, you in my inbox, can I share what? I ain't seen you before. Like, what you doing? But I
Mm-hmm.
still share most of the time because
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe they just don't know that etiquette. Somebody might be coaching them. Look, get in everybody inbox and just ask. So
Oh,
hey,
you'd be surprised.
so
Yeah.
we don't know where people are getting their motivation from. We don't know who's coaching them, telling them to do it. The point is, if you had the balls to get in my inbox, hey, you're trying. So I might support you. But in the back of my mind, I might talk a little smack, like, okay, now I'm gonna come back to you and ask you to share a post and see how you act. But
That's
Yeah.
you
it.
gotta be a friend to gain a friend. You gotta be supportive to get support. Just remember those things. It's a two-way street, y'all. Two-way
Yeah.
street.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen. That's
Love
what's
the
up.
conversation today. Love it.
Oh Lord, I feel like we don't had a come to Jesus moment.
Look at that old powwow over here. I learned a lot.
Yeah, somebody gonna pass the plate,
Yeah,
or we need to say a benediction or
Pass the
something.
collection plate. Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah.
coming when we say, hey, we got this course set up to help people who are thinking about starting a business set up the right way from the financial side all the way to the end. And those who started wrong, a lot of businesses, the statistic currently is like most businesses go out of business within the first 5 years. And it's
Mhm.
usually because of lack of funding, lack of support. Um, those are like the top, what are the top two
Right.
reasons why people go out of business. That does not have to be the case. There's tons of networking groups that are out there. I have one, we have one collectively. And you don't have to have a group per se. You have to have somebody who is willing to hold you accountable.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you don't get to hold yourself accountable. So what we're
Right.
not doing also is we're not passing it off like, girl, you didn't remind me. No, I was supposed to remind me. I got a client waiting on some documents right now. And if she ain't cussing me out, I'm cussing me out. Cause ma'am, get it together.
That's it. That's it.
Oh,
We
okay,
gotta get
baby.
it
They
done.
said that's your time, Dee Dee. Them babies want you.
I was about to say, do you hear them? Are they
Yes,
saying that? All
I
right.
it's
mean,
I'm
okay.
whining.
like, oh my
But
gosh, this is so
y'all, the group
embarrassing.
is at the bottom. If you want to connect with us, like I said, we are based in North Carolina. Legacy underscore lounge underscore NC on Facebook. We all have our individual pages, so connect with us. We are here for you as we are here for each other. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you, ladies, as always, for dedicating your time. We will be live every second Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. If you missed the replay, it will be available on Facebook and on these ladies' pages as well. So do your due diligence, rewatch it, take notes, and implement.
Yeah,
Anything
Yes,
else,
absolutely.
lady?
yes. That's
No,
it.
I'm good. I think again, great conversation. You summed it up well. We're here if you need support. And I'm the first to tell you if I don't have all the answers, give me about 24 to 48 hours. I have a large network. I will find somebody. We will learn together. We'll do it together, or I'm going to point you to the right resource.
Hmm. And I'm just gonna push you out the window. I'm the mama bird. You know how the mama bird take the baby birds, and you just see them sometimes on some National Geographic shows, and then the bird just push them out the nest, and they just go tumbling, and next you know they either flap or they end up on the ground. That's me. So you're gonna get all the nice the soft girl area and the nice supportive area over there. I'm the one that's gonna push you out the nest. So you need that kind of tough
We need
love.
it.
Like you
Yes.
need somebody that's gonna tell you, okay, I need it tomorrow by 5 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm moving on. Then let me know because I got reminders to set up. I got tasks. I'm good with goal situations, of creating deadlines and timelines for folks. So, please know that we all mean it, from the deepest part of our hearts.
Right.
Regardless of how we need to get it done, we need to get it done. So let's not continue to procrastinate in 2025. Let's execute 2025.
Yes. And with that, y'all, we are out of here and we will see y'all next month. Unless you follow us on social media. Thank y'all.
See you later.